Hello everyone and welcome back to Rick's Garage. Today we finish up the work in Phase 2 with the installation of Miss Vicky's new exhaust system.
Say hello to the bad side. My emotion is flatline. Hungry demon, what I'm seeing is snack time. When I rush in the grab, I better run from the path line.
Over the last few episodes, I've been talking about what happens to the air and fuel once it's in the engine, and how the intake system can get modified to allow more of it in there. Now once it's burned though, you have to get all that extra exhaust out of the engine to make way for the next incoming air charge. The easiest way to do that is to increase the diameter of the exhaust tubing to allow a greater volume of gas to escape. By doing this, it's going to change the exhaust back pressure, and depending on what kind of engine you have, that could be a problem. The exhaust gases leaving your engine want to expand in all directions. Now, when they hit the inside of the pipes and are forced to change direction, it compresses the gas slightly, creating a little bit of pressure pushing back against the flow. By making the exhaust larger, it decreases back pressure. Too much though, and the exhaust flows slower and it robs power. Here's how. In an NA engine, changing back pressure is going to most directly affect exhaust scavenging, which is where the flow of the exhaust can help empty out the cylinder. As the exhaust gases pass through the smaller header tubes into the larger diameter collector, the change in volume sends a low pressure wave back towards the engine. Now, if there's any higher pressure exhaust still remaining in the cylinder, it'll get drawn out as soon as that wave hits. It's not a vacuum, but the lower pressure creates suction. This exhaust scavenging will clear out the cylinders, allowing the engine to maximize the space for fresh air and fuel. Now, here's the difference when you have a turbocharger. A turbo will automatically create a restriction in the exhaust as all the flow is funneled through it in order to make it work. So the back pressure between the turbine and the engine is kind of out of our control. The good news is that pressure wave exhaust scavenging in forced induction isn't really a thing. Because we're feeding boost into the engine, there can be a small overlap where the intake and exhaust valves are both open, so the pressurized air blows out the last of the exhaust. That means that post-turbine, the exhaust size can be as big as you want your noise violation to be. For Miss Vicky, I've chosen one of Magnaflow's 2.5-inch competition series Cat-back exhaust systems, as well as a 3-inch Catted Downpipe and Frontpipe combo from RV6 Performance. I've left a link to both of these products down in the description. Now, I've used Magnaflow systems with success in the past, so I think jumping up from the factory 2.25-inch to 2.5-inch diameter will do a better job of getting rid of the exhaust while still staying out of Johnny Law's spotlight. Thankfully, the OE Cat-back comes out pretty easily. I started at the front with the 3 14mm fasteners and worked my way back, disconnecting the 7 rubber hangers that are holding it onto the car. Now, if you're doing this yourself, getting a jack stand under the exhaust as you're disconnecting it, or getting another set of hands makes the job a lot easier. Let's take a closer look at those rubber hangers. These factory hangers do a great job of holding the exhaust securely in place. The problem is that when it comes time to take it apart, they don't always want to play ball. So here's the method that I use when they want to be difficult. First, grab a can of your favorite penetrating oil, and with the straw, give a little squirt between the rubber and the steel. Next, grab a pair of water pump pliers and set them wide enough so that you can get the back side of the rubber and the front side of the hanger. As you squeeze, it brings them together, and the main thing is that you get the rubber over top of the flared end of the hanger, and with a little bit of muscle, you'll be able to remove them. Now that the OE Cat-back is out, we can take a quick look side by side with the Magnaflow kit. It's not too much to look at right now, but there's a couple of features that I think make the Magnaflow quite a bit superior to the OE. First, Magnaflow uses 409 stainless steel, which although will allow some surface oxidation, it'll better protect the material underneath. Also, as you can see, it comes in several pieces, so some lineup will be required, but it'll be much easier to manage in the long run. The other bonus is that Magnaflow retained a standard 3-bolt flange, so it would bolt up to the factory front pipe if you only wanted to go this far with your own exhaust. Finally, the system is held together with V-band clamps. Now, I've heard mixed feelings about this style, but personally I like them. There's no gasket required, and the tapered flange lock them together nice and tight. Removal of the front pipe's very similar to the Cat-back. You've got 3 14mm nuts holding the flange together, and while we're here I'm also going to remove the 2 14mm bolts that connect the downpipe to the associated brackets. Once the nuts are removed, then we've got the same trick with a single rubber hanger on the back, and then the whole piece will fish out the front. So here we've got RV6's downpipe and front pipe next to the original OE stuff. The first thing you'll notice is the size difference between the two. The new tubes are a whopping 3-inch diameter. Something I have to credit RV6 for is using 100% 304 stainless in their construction, as well as doing an excellent job TIG welding it all together. As well, they use a band clamp to connect the downpipe and front pipe, so like the Magnaflow, there's the ease of not having to worry about a gasket. RV6 offers a catless downpipe, but I've opted for the catted version, mainly to avoid a potential vehicle inspection from the police, as well as keeping the car's electronics happy. Beyond the aesthetics, the last thing I'll mention about the downpipe is that RV6 also added threaded studs to their product, so the factory heat shield will still bolt on. And that is one exhaust system installed. A quick point of clarification, do not use an impact to tighten up V-band clamps. The Mini that you saw me use was only to snug the clamp so the pipes would stay put. That being said, let's get to the part that I'm sure a lot of you have tuned in for, and that's to hear what the new system sounds like.
Okay, first startup after finishing phase 2. Ooh, I don't think that microphone's gonna do it justice, but man, that sounds good.
Ooh, that sounds good. You know, it's funny how something as simple as an exhaust tone can really change a car's personality. So now that phase 2 is officially finished, it's time to toss the programmer into the car, call a flat deck, and send Miss Vicky over to the speed shop for her new custom tune. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button. As well, be sure to subscribe for instant notifications as soon as a new one is ready. And as always, thanks very much for watching.